So I read this book and I only slightly regret it. So Nightshade by Autumn Wood is a dark academia romance with a touch of mystery and some mafia shenanigans. Romance, mystery murder, mafia. A combo for a comfort summer read. Ophelia, our heroine, is an orphan. Her parents were murdered and she is trying to get some evidentiary support.
Evidentiary support?
Backing up her case against a certain villain. She loved her parents. They were her best friends, and her dad read her Hamlet to bed. I know the Hamlet quote immediately. My mother named me after a character in the book, and my father sat on my feet at the end of the bed and read me the book more nights than I can count. I don't know, I preferred hearing about rabbits and garden gnomes, but Hamlet's okay, I guess. So Ophelia meets the guy pretty early in the book. First chapter, to be precise. And I was for a moment thrown off because it literally sounded like a Maxton Hall ripoff. And I only know that because I watched the series, because it is in German, and because I'm trying to learn that language. But more importantly, the guy is tattooed, he has green eyes and dark hair, and of course immediately becomes the last object of one Ophelia Winters. However, she quickly learns that his daddy is the suspect in the parents' murder case, so she grows old cold. And then the first occurrence of a teleportation takes place. Yes, you heard me right. Teleportation, because there is no other explanation. Our Ophelia, who left the guy behind and chatted with the chancellor of the school, who directed her to a welcome party, even somehow arrived there. Then chatted with the chancellor of the school, who directed her to a welcome party event, and stayed behind. She somehow arrives there after both of them. And then time starts to bend in a very tricky way. On the arrival day, Ophelia decides to take a swim because she has to train before swimming club eliminations that take place at the end of the week. Someone messes with her shoes, which she left at the shore, and this is an important information. I'm not just saying it to offhandedly. This is important. So the chapter ends, and we get the main character, the chapter ends, and then we get the main guy's perspective. His name is Alex, by the way. I think I haven't mentioned that. He says that he has been there for a week, and now he has to participate in the eliminations as a lifeguard. A week has passed, mind you, all good. However, after the eliminations, Ophelia comes up to him and asks him if he was the one who messed up with his shoes the day before. Which one is this? I don't know. And until this day, I just humbly accept that people can teleport and time is just bending. But not only time seems to work badly in this place. The university is called Sorrow Song, by the way, but I swear to God, after 5 times, my brain just skipped over the name and it has become a Sorrow blah 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 school. So the school has 4 houses, quite like another famous school located in a castle. These houses are named after poisonous plants for some reason, and I think the main reason was because we needed to incorporate the title somewhere. Even the author calls it out as odd in Ophelia's POV. Hemlock, nightshade, courtynor, and snakeroot. 4 deadly plants. The 4 houses of Sorrowsong University. What university has houses? It's straight out a creepy fantasy book. But guess what? Calling it out does not make it any less lame. And we are being told multiple times that this school is elite and only rich kids go there, and graduating is basically like an equivalent of getting a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in life. But these kids barely study. For it being an academia romance, the only real academia part is the location. But for that, the main couple did not really have to be students. Overgrown students at that. Have I mentioned it? She is 21 and he is 23. Let me tell you, when I was 23, I was just ecstatic to be graduating my master's degree and saying my goodbyes to school assignments. And here we have a dude writing an essay for class. I mean, later in the books, their ages make a bit more sense because some darker themes come out, but at the beginning, it was throwing me off very much. I'll be honest. The banter in this book is constant. It is sometimes funny, but mainly in a childish way, and definitely does not sound like two adults would be bantering. That's why their age was just so out of place to me, because it sounded really like 18 years old and not olds and not people in their 20s. But so be it. That's the beginning. The middle of the book was somehow full of events, but boring. Just like this review. Calling it out does not make it any less lame. So Ophelia continues to do nothing at school aside of some performative obligatory essay writing with her Nemesis, the main guy. And because they hate each other, right? Because he's the... You get it. And she also tried to move forward in her investigation to uncover who, and more importantly, why killed her parents, because it truly doesn't make sense. So she asks a school friend to hack the school network for some maintenance data. The friend studies medicine, does not have any real hacking knowledge, but sure enough manages to hack her way into some files. Are you good at computer stuff? Programming, hacking, disks, I don't know. The fact you just said disks tells me you aren't. I'm a medical student. What makes you think I can hack computers? You asked me what graphics card was in my laptop. I don't even know what that means. That's a low standard. But yes, I am good at computers. What do you need? Trying to find exam answers already? Let's go back. Let's go back to the plot. Let's leave that. She just hacks the system. She gets some files. Whatever. In the meantime, Ophelia's roommate gets killed. That's sad. But since she was also a child of a mafia family, everything is resolved without any police intervention. For some reason, Ophelia accuses Alex, and Alex accuses Ophelia of doing this inexplicable act of violence. So naturally, they do not call anyone, because they found the body, by the way, but decides to get into his bed and pretend they spend the night together in case someone has questions. Get in the bed. What? Get into my bed. And why would I do that? Because for some reason I'm willing to be your alibi. Yeah, so now they are each other alibis, I guess, but as I said, the whole matter is resolved in like one page, so I'm not sure if this was really necessary. After this sad event, Ophelia gets her crisis number 1 and wants to leave, but then remembers that she has some business to do in there, so she investigates further and manages to get her hands on a recording. And on the recording, a technician who has loosened a screw or two in the helicopter Ophelia's parents took that fell our night they died. Because it was a chopper accident, by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned. And on this recording, he confesses everything. So now Ophelia has her evidence, but decides not to use it. Because. And here, I am actually not sure. I think she already starts to develop her forbidden feelings towards Alex because he saves her life after someone tried to drown her in a lake. That event, by the way, pushes Ophelia to her crisis number 2, and she wants to again leave, but this time she remembers about her golden ticket to become a children psychologist So she stays. And this is, I think, a good moment to mention that our girl has a stalker since day one, basically, who sends her creepy messages, or rather emails. He sends her creepy emails with literature, the quotes. The same stalker is also a suspect in the murder of her roommate, because who else would have done that? And the stalker alias is an anagram of Ophelia's mother's name. I didn't write it, I'm just saying. But we sort of leave this plot behind for a while now, because the romance starts blooming for good. Ophelia learns more about Alex and his sick mother and 5 younger sisters. She also learns his big, vague plan to dethrone his father from the board of the family business. At this point of the book, there are also some steamy scenes, but I will spare you the details. Then there's Christmas and some cheese, because the feelings are developing. We are basically at the end of the book now. Ophelia came clean before Alex, shared all her secrets with him, told her about her parents and that she suspects his dad. So naturally, this is the excellent moment for something to go downhill. And sure enough, her stalker, who is a creepy professor of... Honestly, I don't remember. I'm not even sure. Yeah, it must have been mentioned, but I really don't remember. Huh. But he mentioned her mother once when she had a crisis, so yeah, that's that guy. He revealed himself and he wants to kill the girl because she dug too deep, and besides, her mother left him for her and her father, of course, but you know. So it naturally makes sense that he wants to unalive her. She was supposed to be mine, he shouts. She was supposed to live with me, but she turned her back on me for you. I let you live, almost forget about you, and then one day there you are in my lecture hall, like the universe is just begging me to end your bloodline. I gave you a chance to run, spiked your drink, killed your roommate, but you were too obsessed with him. The turn was my mistake, I'll admit. I thought I'd left you dead. So the professor attacks Ophelia and drags her to the forest to bury her in there. Fortunately, Alex realizes something is amiss and is there just in time to help finish the guy off. Our heroine stabbed the professor off screen and ran away, so I'll give her that. She didn't really need to be rescued. The two of them decide to finish the guy off, but not without getting horny in the process, because, you know, they are a little psycho. Ophelia, love, would you go and stand over there? I ask softly. Might get messy. I love your mess, Alex. I wonder what my shrink would make of the fact that, despite the situation, all I can think about is bending her over right here on the forest floor. So they kill the guy, and their mafia prodigy friends help out with cleaning and the cover-up story. Basically, they stage the suicide of the guy, but we do not know how. They also decided to melt his body in acid, so I don't know. Let's just leave this and let's move on. This is almost the end. Technically, this could have been the end. Everything is sort of wrapped up, more or less. However, this is a series, guys. So naturally, everything has to go to shit now, because we have to prepare the stage for the second book, which is completely unnecessary, but everything goes to shit, as I mentioned, and the file that Ophelia had on her computer with all the evidence and the case built against Alex's father gets leaked. And it's leaked from her email address to the press. So, of course, it is assumed that she has done it. Alex is now heartbroken and he has to immediately leave to finish taking over the company because his father is now missing in action and everything just blew up into their faces. So that's a good moment for a coup. And that's the end. He leaves, he's sad, she stays and she's sad, and everyone has turned away from her. All the friends she made, who were basically also Alex's friends, or primarily Alex's friends, are sad, and the book is done. The end. Now, let's end it with something positive, right? Because there are actually two things about this book that are great. And the first thing is, they are mentioning contraception before their first time, so a big plus for that. And the second one is this quote: "Stupid ginger pigeon. It's the worst way a man has ever described me, and yet I've never felt so seen."